Western Spring Television, as it is.
Good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, world. Thank you for joining us on the week-ending edition of Morning Spring today. Thank you for always being with us. Femi Ojo is my name. Quite a week we've had. Really, it's been an eventful week, talking about the economy, talking about the business environment, the oil sector, the big players and their complaints, the Dangote situation, and of course the NMDPRA, the Ministry of Petroleum, tried to broker a peace, peace meeting between these critical stakeholders, allegations and counter allegations. Then, the issue of the looming protest, the actions being taken by people on the side of the government and of course well-meaning people at the other side as well, trying to say, young people, maybe you should hold it, maybe you should give the government a listening here, and some reigning in the government as well to say you should be truthful, you should speak to these people, don't be egoistic about this matter, don't just make it look like now protest is a crime, because some of you in government or successive government rose to power via these same protests, trying to lay out your grievances at one point or the other in our history. So how come you are making it look like protesting now is a crime? But some are saying protest is not really a bad thing. How will it not turn violent? That's the matter. Critical stakeholders, security agencies have been talking, politicians as well. We will get a look into these, especially the young people and the state of the nation. But as we do on the program, we look at the headlines and of course we then get talking, speaking to critical stakeholders, and all is geared towards having a better and a functional, Nigeria. Good people, great nation, the kind of country that we will be proud of. And that's why we are here every day. We take this pause right now. When I return, we will be delving straight to what the papers have for us. Is a bumper package on today's Morning Spring. Stay with me. All right, be kicking it from the front page of This Day newspaper. Quite a very busy front page for this day. And traditional rulers, clerics, ulamas mobilize against the hardship protest. Again, traditional rulers, clerics, ulamas mobilize against hardship protest. And of course, a couple of riders there. Above Benin calls for patience. Oni of Ife. Sultan, other traditional rulers, Afeni Ferry sue for caution. Tinubu says protest sponsors don't love Nigeria. Have alternative passports. Okay, again, Tinubu says protest sponsors don't love Nigeria and have alternative passport. And other writers says insist no government will tolerate violent protest. Says he has no cabal election self-sponsored. Right, confident economy on steady recovery path, and governors quote NSA say protest gaining momentum. Military ones, DSS uncovers sponsors. Interesting, headlines and riders here today. And you have the picture of UTME FLNG Limited Board of Directors. Away from that, Deputy Senate President Harold Tinubu over Northwest Development Commission Bill hasn't. Northwest Development Commission Bill hasn't. And Wale Edun, federal government surpassed half-year non-oil revenue by 30%. Exited waste and means trap. All right, and the writers attributed to that story says debt service cost dipped from 97% to 68%. Insist subsidy on PMS technically gone. I take that again. Insist subsidy on PMS technically gone, whatever that means. Government said to float $500 million denominated local bond and cite impediment to immediate implementation of Supreme Court verdict on local government. And this one, local government autonomy, INEC has capacity to conduct LG polls, says chairman. All right. And finally, Ohanese president Nwayawu passes at 82. Tinubu declares death irreparable loss. Buhari, Abbas, Mba, Abiodun, Obimon. And, returning from the sidelines to the first team action, LADEJI, ALABI. Good morning.
Good morning to you, Femi. How do you do today?
Very well. Thank you. It's good to have you back.
It's a pleasure to be here.
The Paris Olympics have started. Maybe that's why you have returned
of course,
from the sidelines back to the first team now.
Well, yeah, we thank God for life. Okay. And we are here again.
Okay. Let me ginger you a bit. Hala Madrid.
Of course, ALABI Madrid always.
I know you respond to that.
You can say that again and again.
No,
as
I won't say that again.
Best club in the whole wide world.
Okay, and let's stick to the business of today. Quite a very detailed front page these days has. This morning, you've listened to quite a couple of them. Where do we pick it from? Let's pick it from here. The book headline from these days: traditional rulers, clerics, ulamas mobilize against hardship protest. And above Benin calls for patience, Oni of Ife, Sultan, other traditional rulers, Afenifere sue for caution. And I want us to pay attention to the details of the word used. Tinubu says protest sponsors don't love Nigeria, have that of alternative passport. Let's take those riders one by one. But traditional rulers, clerics, ulamas, they were at the villa yesterday to have a meeting with the president on this matter of the Lumi protest.
For me, the question I kept asking myself is, what is the big deal about the protest?
What do you mean?
What is the big deal about it? We are in a democracy. People have the right to protest, and protest are in different form.
Right.
And also, let me mention that the only protest known to the law is the one that is peacefully conducted.
Yeah.
And I don't think anybody has come out to threaten that anything will go bad or something if they are not allowed to protest. Or if the protest is going on, they are going to do this, they are going to do that. All they are asking for is there is hunger, there is famine, there is terrible things are happening in the land. So I don't know why the urgency in the presidency and the people surrounding him, calling for meeting back and forth. We saw pictures of them meeting with clerics, now with Obas yesterday. Maybe the question I kept asking myself yesterday is that when people were being killed in Benue, in Plateau State, when Obas were killed in Ekiti State, what urgent meeting did he call to? It shows that these people only care when the pot of soup which they are feeding from is about to be affected. When people are being killed, you never called for an emergency meeting. When people go to filling stations, sleep there overnight, when there was, what do you call it now, scarcity of food.
Would that be true? Because when
Femi,
the issue of kidnapping
was rampant, the emergency meeting he called
for security meeting with service chiefs. He has called for himself.
Femi, I remember there was an issue in a particular state where people were killed. The state very close to Niger State.
Right.
And the president flew into Niger State to go and commission an airport that was, named after him. So here we are. And all these people calling for patience. Now Tinubu is talking about people protesting have alternative passport. Did he have alternative passport in 2012 when he led the protest against Jonathan government? Everything they did against Goodluck Jonathan, now they cannot take just 1% of it. These people call that man names. They carry coffin because of this man. Don't forget, there is a particular professor in this country that called Jonathan's wife Shippopotamus. And Yeah, you are. These same people are gaslighting people.
All right.
People cannot protest.
Yeah, you know what, LADEJI, in the course of the program, I mean, the conversation rather, we'll get to talk about this so that we'll dwell on that later. But let me take these. LG autonomy. INEC has capacity to conduct LG polls, says the chairman. The conversation has been there that maybe all these CX in different states are not doing what is right. They are appendages of the state government and the power that be in different states. And the Latif agreement, the SC and the AGF have said maybe for more credibility and so that the local government will function well, INEC should take over. And the chairman is saying, yes, we have the capacity to do that.
Well, how creditable is INEC itself? If we are alleging that the CX cannot, yes, there's no doubt in that we've not done well with electoral processes, and it's not about the state alone.
Yeah.
It's even at the national level. We cannot boldly say we had an election in 2023. We can't boldly say it. Forget all these and the court judgment, everything. We spent over 300 billion naira, aside the money we got from the European Union, from all the unions around the world.
Right.
And we conducted an election that we're using mathematical, solving paper to declare the result of an election. You saw what happened in South Africa. You saw how many months the United Kingdom used in preparing for the election they had. We saw what has been happening around the world. Countries that are not even up to us in terms of capacity, in terms of funding, conducted elections, and we didn't see Ula Balu. But here, INEC that couldn't conduct, for me, INEC scored below average in the last election. And you want to add local government election. And then what do you call it then? If you say we have states that are, they have their own autonomy on their own. You can't leave everything. Already, what we have on the exclusive list of the federal government in our law is too much. We are talking about going, doing true federalism. And again, we are talking about INEC holding elections for local government. What I think we should do is to empower our systems, empower our organs, let them be able to function independent, even INEC. Because most of the time you see INEC is not truly independent. You cannot add the headache of conducting a local government to INEC. You see the election, even the off-cycle election they conducted in states. We saw what happened in Kogi State. Election has not started in some local government that we saw some alleged results. And sadly, the result they announced in those words were not different from what was circulating around ATM. Right. And Femi has a roundup. Yeah. Also, in terms of planning, starting election as and when due, you saw some places, even during the general election, the election did not hold up until afternoon. So if you add this headache to INEC, they are not yet ready to be able to even conduct the national election. So don't add the state, the local government elections to their headache.
So you'd rather whatever has been happening in different states with all the CX,
let us look inward. What is the problem? Let us solve it. Let us make the CX truly independent. I'm not so a fan of making card-carrying members of your party. What do you call it now? CX chairman. But it happens in INEC too. We've seen card-carrying members of parties being, seconded to state as rec, doing the bidding of whatever the party at the national level wants. Right. So it is still the same thing. It is only because the CX are closer to us, we can see their dirty linens, and the INEC is a bit far from us. And INEC chairman will come in a press briefing where is Babariga and speak English to us, and we believe all is well and good.
Yeah, Deputy Senate President hails Tinubu over Northwest Development Commission bill assent. Now, almost all the regions are having development commissions. Assent has been given to Northwest Development Commission. We already have Northeast Development Commission. There is the NDDC already. Maybe Southwest is in the pipeline. The North Central almost done with theirs. So, progress?
For me, no progress, Femi. Already you forgot to add to it that also this week,
the Southeast
has been assented also,
to as well.
And the NDDC, that we started with because of the oil spillage and all that we started with, at the time NDDC became money bag for some people, cash outs, opportunity for them.
Yeah.
where they, just enjoy the largesse of the federal government. Now, for me, I think we should be looking the route of true federalism, Femi. The states really need to be empowered.
Right.
The states among this region, at a time in this country, Femi, the state in the western region, the state in the northern region, the state in the eastern region, and Old Bende, whatever state, Femi, there were healthy competition. The state in the western region saw their area of strength. Agrarian society.
Yeah.
We can plant cocoa. We can do this. Go to Benin, palm oil, bananas, all species of bananas. Go to Benue State. You have, what do you call it? Yam and all sort of things. There were healthy competition. In Enugu, coal. Let these states look inward. Let us empower the states. And when we empower the state, let us have people that really love
Do
their
we need to still empower the state?
Now, Femi,
How do
what
you
I
make it?
mean about empowering the state is many of the things we have on the exclusive list. For example, before President Muhammadu Buhari left power, he actually pushed the power sector to, generation of power to concurrent. And you see about 2 or 3 states. Already Lagos State has been pushing to do that before.
Yeah.
Now, Oyo State already key into that. Abia State with, what's the name of this Professor Patinanji's company, they're already working that route. More things need to be, let these state governors know that, see, you have a lot to do.
Right.
What is the area of strength of your state? I'm expecting governors from the northern states to look inward and say, okay, so we have a lot of sun here. Do we look the route of solar?
Right.
Do we look the route of another thing? Governors of Enugu State, Abia State, Niger State, and all these people, look at your area of strength and, let there be healthy competition.
Harness,
Lagos State doesn't have so much land, but Lagos is partnering with some other states to grow rice. That's the way to go. You don't just sit down and expect that every money
Although
that
many
comes.
persons will ask questions, say, what's the consistency in that? Because I know you are referring to the partnership with Kebbi.
Kebbi State,
with the
Lake
So
Rice.
where's Lake
Yes,
Rice?
of course. We can now get deeper into the conversation and ask what has been the end result. But the fact that you make the move,
Yeah, the
do
initiative.
you get the initiative? What is Osun State having that Oyo State doesn't have? How do we partner?
All right.
How do we have an healthy competition and make these states to grow
Moving on.
independently of what is happening? The federal should have lesser power. Just undo things about immigration. That's it. You have the power, currency, and some other things.
Security.
But and security. Thank you.
All right, and let's move to the Nation newspaper. The Nation newspaper. Planned protest, defense headquarters, DHQ, DSS put men operatives on red alert. I'm reading from the front page of the Nation. And planners target change of government. NSA assures governance of security. That, this is attributed to the DSS. The long-term objective is to achieve a regime change. The service will maintain peace and apply all legitimate methods to achieve these. And citizens have a right to peaceful protest, not a right to mobilize for anarchy to unleash terror. Troops will act dutifully to forestall such ugly occurrences. That is from the Defense Headquarters. And inside, aftermath, effect of protest on Nigerians, my concern, says Tinubu. Aftermath, effect of protest on Nigerians, my concern. And protest, monarch states rise against violent action. No room for protest in FCT, says Wike. Shelf-plan protest, Kalu tells youth. And Southeast reps urge Igbo to shun protest. That's a lot. And away from that, Nigeria's economy growing faster and reform gains, says Edo. Debt service drops from 97% to 68%. Nice. Revenue surges. And $10 billion lost to crude oil theft in 7 months, says Speaker Abbas. Top strip. President leads tribute as Ohanese leader. Nwayeu passes on. And sadly, 5 killed in Lagos building collapse. Lagos Calabar Coastal Road will be a game changer, says NRESV, NIAS president. Okay, LADEJI, Mr. Edun is talking this morning. has reported that Nigeria's economy is growing faster on reform gains, and debt service has dropped from 97% to 68%, and revenue is surging. That's good news.
Well, yes, some good news there, if you ask me. Because what we use on, what do you call it now, debt servicing,
Debt service.
using 97% of revenue to service debt is really ridiculous.
Almost the entire thing we are making.
Almost the entire thing. But also on the flip side, Femi, because Nigerian government gives you many reasons to doubt them a couple of times, and I really want to see this into play in reality. Why do I say this? These same people will tell you any statistics that doesn't favor the government, they don't want to believe. So how do you want people to believe the statistics rolled out by government? Don't forget, the APC National Secretary was on a particular TV 2 days ago, was saying, the statistics rolled out by NBS, an organization that for years have been rolling out, statistics, and people have confirmed to be true. And you are now saying you don't want to believe. So these statistics coming out from the government.
Officially, he's not in government.
But he is there to defend the government. Yeah. His party is in power. And the Nigerian type of democracy, even the party chairman would come there. What he's trying to do is to paint that the party in power, his party is doing well.
But the man in charge of the economy is the one giving us this.
Of course, yes. The MBS also have a right. They are being paid by government also to do what they are doing. And also the citizens have the right to also believe them too. I'm not saying I'm doubting Wale Edun, but I'm saying that I really want to see this into play.
How will you see?
Femi, if we are generating more, revenue, we have more money, right? And we are getting out of ways and means, that it shows that there should be the ripple effect on the average Nigerians. People should be able to, as we have more money, we should be able to invest in some of the things. And don't forget also, Wale Edun said it when he became the minister, that they are not going to run an economy on loan. But about 2 or 3 loans have been taken already, and also another one in the pipeline. So,
but look at it this way. The coordinating minister of economy, Wale Edun, who doubles as a minister for finance, is saying that Nigeria's economy is growing faster on reform gains, and debt service drops from 97% to 68%, and revenue is surging. You can easily do the math that if actually the revenue is surging, right, and debt service has dropped from 97 to 68.
Yeah.
Maybe, just maybe, I'm not a spokesperson, but maybe the revenue that is surging is still the revenue that is being used, to service the debt. Maybe that's why we're having decrease in the debt service.
In the number. Yeah, of course. No.
And so it might not necessarily reflect in the prosperity of the nation. Just maybe.
Because
loans
now, Femi,
are on ground.
If we say
whatever
already,
you're making,
I just mentioned now that he promised that you're going to run an economy on loan. But if we say we want to reduce our loan, if we say we are not going to run an economy mainly on loan, and we've taken about 3 or 4 loans already in our first year or first, year and few months into government, it shows we are going to take more. And if we keep compiling the loans, it's just a matter of time. And what I'm saying is this grammar...
It's just a matter of time
that will go back into the deep. Now, Femi, this grammar you and I are blowing doesn't make any meaning to the woman selling pepper on the road. What she cares about is she wants to feed her family.
Right.
What the bricklayer out there, what the plumber out there want to do, what the taxi driver out there want to achieve is to feed his family. So if all this we are gaining, we are making gains, we are doing this, we are doing that, economy doesn't reflect on their lives, doesn't reflect on their day-to-day, activities. It doesn't make sense to them.
Right, very well. You're saying whatever gains we are making, it should
reflect on the people,
on the street. Yeah, quickly, this is a sad one. 5 killed in Lagos building collapse and 5 rescued. Many persons will say, why Lagos? Almost, why Lagos?
Well, in the last few weeks,
I think this building was under
construction. Well,
5 people killed.
To be fair, it's not only happening in Lagos, Femi.
No, I mean,
but the Lagos issue has been reoccurring. It speaks to the standard.
Sorry, I had to say Lagos because not because I'm picking on them. I feel, what are they doing wrongly? Who are the ones certifying constructions?
Bless you. Now, I'm about going there now. Lagos is a peculiar state. Lagos is about maybe 5 meters or thereabout above the water level or so, according to people that knows more about geology or something. Now it shows Lagos is a waterlogged area.
Obviously.
It shows if you are concentrating on, maybe you want to build in a place like Osun, which is more of a landlocked place. If you are using maybe materials maybe of 100% quality in Osun, you should try as much as possible to double it in Lagos, because water will make way for itself. And here we are, maybe because of people poor approval, method, poor standard of the materials used in most of these constructions. I think the government really need to look into this, because reoccurring issue of house collapsing and people wasting,
dying
needlessly. You see the school that collapsed in Plateau State.
Yeah.
A woman lost, I think, 3 or 4 of her children in a day, and I think the woman eventually died, because there is no way you want to, you want to console such a person. All her life crashed in a twinkling of an eye. I think people need to do better. And also, now, beyond government, now, individuals, people that goes into construction. A friend of mine recently lost a house he's building, owing to the fact that the person he gave out the contract to, if this guy gives him money for 5 cements, he uses 2 or 3. You've dropped the standard of what the person asked you to do. Yeah. And thank his stars that he has not moved into the house before the house collapsed. What would have happened? People also need to be humane. You need to think about, yes, you want to make your own money, but if the owner of the house asks you to use 5 cement, please use 5. Don't go and use, because you want to make extra money, use 3, and you will go to church, you pay tithe, you go to mosque, you give zakat. God doesn't accept those such offering. They are blood money, and it is not good. We need to love ourselves. Yeah. And when we love ourselves, when somebody gives you a contract, help me build this house. Help me buy a new tire for my car. He gives you money for a brand new tire. Went to buy Tokumbo tire. The person lost his life due to a tire burst on the road. The blood is on your neck.
Right. And quickly and lastly, let's just see what the Guardian has for us. Region. Yes, I'm reading from the front page of the Guardian. Regions, citizens languish amid proliferation of political SPVs. I take that again. Okay. It's coming from the heels of this particular one. Development commissions without development. That is how the Guardian has posited it. The Guardian. Development commissions without development. Region citizens languish amid proliferation of political SPVs, special purpose vehicles. And you can see the image depicted here of impoverished kind of scenario of a torn, tattered house with somebody who is obviously poor, wearing torn clothes, and of course just there kneeling on the feet, and you can see a banner or a description of the South, and of course politicians, the federal government with naira and dollars, creating new development commission and using it as a vehicle now that we have the one from the north, the west, and of course the east as well. In other news, more regions demand Me Too development commissions. The way they said it, Me Too. More like others are having it. Where is mine? And we are seeing it spring up almost everywhere. Planned protests, military ones against violence, as DSS reveals plans to cause chaos. TUC insists on May 1st, 2024 date for new minimum wage. Tinubu, Igbo Nation, others men, the demise of Nwayawa, 82, the leader of the Pan-Igbo Social Cultural Group, Ohanaeze Ndigbo. Yeah, that's quite a loss there. Responders recover 5 bodies, rescue 5 others in Lagos building collapse. We talked about that. And NCS intercepts 7 containers of codeine syrup worth over 1 billion naira, 11 billion naira rather. And this one says, World Hepatitis Day, hope deems for 2030 elimination target for deadly virus. And we've talked about the the development commissions, and the Guardian has called it political SPVs. But quickly, let's look at the labor TUC is insisting, LADEJI, that May 1st, 2024 should be the date for the new minimum wage, meaning whenever it's being assented to, it should be backdated. May 1st.
Well, the TUC, NLC, they were there when the agreement for the 70,000 naira minimum wage was set. I think, or I hope that they've raised these issues, you know, with the government, because already they said they have their reasons for accepting 70,000 naira minimum wage. A lot of people have asked the question, when you guys came out with 615,000 naira, you analyzed, okay, so this is what you take as transport. So how did you arrive at 70,000 naira from, you know, 615? At the time you said 250,000 naira, which also I believe wasn't realistic, you know. But how do you arrive at 70,000 naira?
Well, now they have agreed.
And now that you have agreed, what I'm asking also is, did they remember during the negotiation that you want it backdated? Because all this will just be, you know, campaigns after election. All
right, very well. And lastly, on this particular segment, federal government lost $10 billion to oil theft and vandalism in 7 months. This seems not to be going away. If a nation will lose $10 billion just between January and July, that nation is bleeding.
Femi,
and the bleeding is not stopping.
Femi, before elections, Peter Obi, is he now the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party, made mention that, you know, oil theft in Nigeria has political undertone. And I think I need to agree with him now. Because in reality, these are major
political undertone. How?
Of course, yes, because just an average individual will not go out there to engage in these things. If you've seen people lived around this oil region area, they will tell you most of the time the people that sponsors them. Many of these folks, you just see them, all of a sudden it become a sudden billionaire. Because what is even being stolen is more than what we produce in a day. Femi, I can tell you for free that if we can solve oil theft in this country, our revenue generation will skyrocket. Because
obviously, because $10 billion, imagine what a $10
billion into our revenue.
Do. Yeah.
That means the 68% that Minister Wale Edo is talking about would even be about 40% or thereabout. People are eating fat on this. It is a big cash cow for a couple of people.
But we've seen a number of arrests, a number of seizures.
Femi.
How come this has not abated?
Femi.
Yeah. Maybe you should add, there is even a private firm that has been contracted
that time.
Be doing the surveillance. Femi, and they have been working. It looks like they have been working.
Let me tell you for free. You know, in Nigeria, there is this balance that says, any two more we, no more we.
Meaning?
Possibly not assuring you that possibly some of these guys that you see they arrest, it's just 1 out of 100. And those are the ones that are not ready to, say to the boys.
That's a conspiracy theory?
It may not be a conspiracy theory. Femi, we are shouting arms proliferation in Nigeria. Do you know you arrest 150 goes in? How do you get to see the... I saw a video recently of, a package of gun, ammunitions that entered the country through illegal means. Femi, I saw rifle, I was scared for myself. Because if this gets into hands of, the wrong hands, this can only be handled by DSS soldiers and police that are trained to handle them. If this gets into the hands of touts, political thugs there, they will cause mayhem with it.
Right.
Do you get? That's why we need to look deep into this. If we don't solve the issue of oil theft, I make bold to say it again, that this thing has political undertone. And if we do not solve this problem, our revenue generation will not go up, will not go higher. If private people can be making billions of dollars on us as a nation, and we've not found a serious solution, I think these are people that the DSS should concentrate more on. The soldiers should concentrate more on. Discover who are the people stealing our oil. Discover who are the people, diverting our oil. Instead of, vexing our energy or stressing our energies on the people that want to go about on peaceful protests.
All right, let me quickly add this one from The Punch. The Punch, virtually everything that The Punch has been taken or other papers have it as well. But let me add this one. The Punch have it, and is in addition to what you have just talked about. That probe, National Assembly summons NNPC, Dangote, over $10 billion oil theft.
Well, in the last few weeks, we've seen Alhaji Aliko Dangote come out to complain about, saboteurs in the system frustrating his business. Yes, you may not like Aliko Dangote, maybe for some reasons or thereabout, but business-wise, is the highest employer of labor in terms of private-owned entities in Nigeria. And also, it's a great plus. Don't forget, I'm not one of those people that believe because of Dangote refinery will buy oil for, PMS for 200 naira. He's also in the business because he borrowed loans to invest in it. And he's a businessman. He needs to make his money. But the ripple effect on our economy, how many people he will, employ, what will happen, how many people will he take off the street? So if we frustrate, I said it during AirPeace saga, that is the time Nigerians need to rally around that man. This is also the best time we rally around Aliko Dangote. Don't allow some private few individuals to frustrate him. But already Femi, Gabon is toasting him to come around. And he will go to where he knows he will make his money.
He can always expand. Anybody can always expand. But it doesn't mean you have to close down.
Femi, if care is not taken, if you is personal business, if you frustrate him, he can close his business.
Now, this particular story is talking, the probe rather, is a National Assembly summons NNPC and Dangote over $10 billion oil theft. It's about the oil theft.
Yeah.
Not even about the business now. Because many persons will say, are there things that these people know
Femi,
that we don't know?
Yesterday I saw a report. Malta as a nation, Malta is a very small nation in Europe, doesn't have one single... It's an island. Yeah. It's an island, doesn't have one single refinery. But between, I can't, if I can get the information, I'll quote the correct data. But between 2019 and 2022, Nigeria had zero oil importation from Malta. But between 2022, 2023 and today, as at yesterday, we've imported, I can't put a figure to it. I don't want to quote the wrong figure because I'm on a national TV. Yeah, do you get? Yeah. But it has skyrocketed. And people have been asking, where is it coming from? Malta, they don't have refinery. What is happening? Where did we get it wrong? Femi, probe or no probe, we need to look deep. And I think the National Assembly need to be sincere with this.
And you can only
look deep into this.
You can only look deep when you investigate.
That's why I'm saying probe, they need to
and that's what the National Assembly has
They need to be sincere with this. I know what I'm saying when I say they need to be sincere with this.
Yeah.
They need to go deep into it. Femi, oil theft, frustration of Dangote refinery, we need to solve both problems. Dangote will not give us free money, but he will employ, he may not directly employ me, he may not employ anybody I know, but the fact that he's taking one guy off the street, he has solved a problem, of one of our major problems in Nigeria.
Well. All right, this is where we take a break. And of course, LADEJI will be with us much longer on the program today. And it's about the state of the nation, what we are seeing, what we are hearing. We'll try to investigate and probe further that in a manner of talking. To have conversations about the issues and why the young people, many young persons, want to show their grievances in a way of protest. And then the blockage that particular intention of theirs have been meeting, and of course many persons reining them in to say one thing or the other. We'll, or layer these things in the course of the conversation. It's still Morning Spring on Western Spring Television, beaming live, crisply clear, loudly on channel 190 on Star Times DTT, and also on different social media platforms, including our YouTube channel at Western Spring Television. It is the Friday edition. Stay with us. We'll be back.